An unyielding soul, an undying will, an ageless heart. That's what it takes.
Lian Po is a tank that becomes immune to control effects when he uses his skills. He can initiate a team fight and keep his enemies close by using his ult, followed up by Skill 1, Skill 2, and Skill 1 again. He's not afraid of taking damage. In fact, he gains attack speed as his health drops. Skill 1 lets him charge forward and launch enemies, while Skill 2 gives him a shield, deals damage to nearby enemies, and refreshes Skill 1. For his ultimate, he slams the ground 3 times. He can use Skill 1 in between slams, and the third slam launches nearby enemies. Learn Skill 2 at the beginning, then prioritize upgrading the ultimate, or Skill 1 if the ultimate is not available.
Zhuangzi is a support hero with the ability to cleanse. His 1-2 skill combo can slow and damage enemies. Zhuangzi is freed from crowd control and gains damage reduction every 6 seconds. Skill 1 transforms him into a butterfly who slows enemies. Skill 2 deals damage and increases teammates' movement speed. His ultimate frees teammates from crowd control and grants them shields. Prioritize the ultimate when learning skills. If it's not available, go for Skill 1.
I'm as fickle as a coin flip.
I stand on a ridge, an abyss on either side. Losing an eye ain't so bad. Gives you that rugged look.
Legendary! An enemy has been slain.
Da Muso!
Musashi is an assassin that excels at chasing after his targets. Skill 2 followed by a basic attack, Skill 1, another basic attack, his ult, and a final basic attack is the perfect way to catch running targets. His skills enhance his basic attack to reduce skill cooldowns when they hit enemies. His Skill 1 unleashes a wave of energy that blocks projectiles. Skill 2 lets him dash forward, then grants a shield and returns some of the skill's cooldown if it hits an enemy. His ult lets him lock onto an enemy and charge at them, gaining damage immunity during the charge, delaying enemy health recovery, and launching nearby enemies at the end of the charge. Prioritize upgrading the ultimate, or Skill 2 if the ultimate's not available. Musashi is an assassin that excels at chasing.
Even here, I must remain true to who I am.
You've never met a real man until you've met me!
Xiao Yu is a tanky hero with formidable survivability. His basic combo 1, ultimate 2, puts crowd control on enemies and dishes out damage. Xiao Yu's damage reduction increases the lower his health gets. His skill 1 lets him dash forward, knocking back enemies in his path, and then launching enemies at the end of his dash. His skill 2 deals damage to enemies within a range and reduces the damage they deal. His ultimate lets him charge up and unleash energy waves with this sword, dealing tons of damage that increases the lower his health is. In terms of skill learning, prioritize their ultimate. If that's unavailable, prioritize skill 1.
I'm just here to teach and save the world while I'm at it.
Fulci is a fighter with strong laning and enemy suppression capabilities. His 2-1 ultimate basic attack combo can deliver high burst damage to wipe out enemies. His basic attacks accumulate energy, which grants an enhance effect when it reaches 5 points. Skill 1 pulls enemies in front of him, then damages and slows them. With Skill 2, he gains damage reduction and a movement speed boost, plus rebounds the enemy's first basic attack. His ultimate is a forward dash that restrains the first enemy attacked. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize Skill 1.
I will fight to the death!
Guan Yu is a burst fighter with high mobility. His basic ultimate 1-2 combo allows for advance and retreat, disrupting the enemy. He continuously speeds up while moving and enters charge stance after a set distance, gaining enhanced skills and basic attacks. His skill 1 deals damage to surrounding enemies and knocks back enemies when he's in charge stance. His skill 2 frees him from crowd control, grants a movement speed boost, and knocks back enemies when he's in charge stance. His ultimate accelerates how quickly he enters charge stance. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize skill 1.
You have no idea who you're dealing with. Let me show you just how it's done. You have
This armor feels more familiar to me than my own skin. I could sleep in this thing.
Arthur is a fighter with a nice set of crowd control skills. In his most common combo, he uses skill 2, skill 1, then a basic attack, and his ult. His passive restores health continuously, while his skill 1 increases his movement speed and enhances the next basic attack to silence the enemy. His skill 2 summons shields that orbit around him and deal damage. For his ultimate, he leaps toward the enemy and launches them. Prioritize upgrading the ultimate or skill 1 if the ultimate is not available.
I open my third eye so that I can see my opponent clearly.
My very existence defies reason.
Nucha is a fighter with fantastic engagement and dash capabilities. With his ultimate 2-1 basic attack 1 skill combo, he can dash to the enemy's carry and defeat them. When Nucha deals damage to enemies, he gets a shield that negates true damage. His skill 1 deals damage to nearby enemies while also reducing their health recovery. When Nucha uses skill 2, he rolls behind his target, dealing damage and gaining a shield. Using his ultimate opens a mini-map, allowing Nucha to choose and fly to any target within range, dealing damage and knocking them back. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize skill 1.
Listen, the howling of a dying star, offering its final embers to the universe.
It's so vexing to have no worthy opponents left.
Menki is a mage jungler with awesome pushing ability. His 2-1-BA2 combo is used to poke enemies. When he uses skills, he gains physical attack and physical and magical defense. His skill 1 grants a shield, and basic attacks reduce its cooldown. With skill 2, he throws a bubble that damages and slows targets. During his ultimate, he flies in a circle, dealing damage and launching enemies after stopping. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize skill 2.
Courage is me only belief.
Byron is a fighter with crowd control and both offense and defense capabilities. His 2-BA ult 1-BA combo can get him close to enemies for crowd control and takedowns. His basic attacks and skills charge up energy that boosts basic attacks and skills. With skill 1, he slashes forward twice to deal damage and recover health. When the skill is charged, damage and recovery are increased. Skill 2 is a forward dash skill that grants enhanced basic attacks. When the skill is charged, enhanced basic attacks also launch enemies. His ultimate grants a shield and deals damage to surrounding enemies. When the ultimate is charged, the shield and damage are increased. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize skill 1.
I followed the call to build the Great Wall.
Meet my swords!
Elaine is a fighter with both offense and defense capabilities. His 2 basic attack, basic attack, basic attack, basic attack 1 combo is used to poke enemies. Elaine's basic attack is very fast, and each basic attack increases his power. His skill 1 deals frontal damage and launches enemies. With skill 2, he dashes forward, gaining attack speed and slowing enemies. His ultimate makes him untargetable as he jumps toward a target unit, then deals damage when he lands. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize skill 1.
Call me Captain, not Ada. I'm the captain now.
Ata is a tanky hero with powerful damage absorption abilities. His basic combo Ultimate 2-1 basic attack applies powerful crowd control effects and deals damage to enemy heroes. Ata will briefly store health when health is lost, during which a portion of damage dealt to any target will be converted into true damage. His skill 1 lets him jump in the air and deal damage to enemies when they hit the ground before bouncing back up and launching them. His skill 2 extends his weapon, dealing damage to enemies ahead. When it touches a wall, it pulls Ata in, who stuns enemies. Ultimate erects a tall wall to block enemies. In terms of skill learning, prioritize their ultimate. If that's unavailable, prioritize skill 1.
I will not harm the innocent.
martial arts were born out of vicissitudes.
Mei Yin is a fighter with outstanding burst damage capabilities. A common skill combo for her is 1 BA 2 ult 1 BA 2 1 BA 2, which can be used to max out her burst damage. When Mei Yin uses a skill, she gains additional effects depending on which skill she uses next. Her skill 1 lets her pull in enemies to her front before dealing damage, and following this up with another use of skill 1 will deal massive amounts of damage and launch the enemy. Alternatively, she can follow up with her skill 2 to unleash a flurry of punches and kicks. When using skill 2, she does a flip and recovers health. Following this up with skill 1 allows her to leap behind the enemy and knock them back. Following it up with another use of skill 2 lets her kick her opponent and leap back while dealing damage. Her ultimate grants her one additional use of skill 1 and skill 2. Prioritize upgrading her ultimate or skill 1 if the ult is not available.
Just like that.
Ukyo Tachibana is an assassin jungler with very high skill burst damage. His BA2 Alt 1-1 combo deals massive damage in a short period of time to defeat enemies. He gains enhanced basic attacks periodically. With skill 1, he dashes backward to slash enemies. With skill 2, he damages and stuns frontal targets. With his ultimate, he deals damage multiple times and recovers health. In terms of skill learning, he should prioritize his ultimate. If unavailable, he should prioritize skill 2.
Freedom is what makes or breaks a voyage.
Sun Tzu is a fighter with lots of crowd control skills who's able to quickly approach the enemy and initiate team fights. During laning, Sun Tzu can use the skill combo 1 Basic Attack 2 Basic Attack 2 Basic Attack 2 Basic Attack to deal burst damage and win duels. Sun Tzu periodically gains an enhanced basic attack, as well as armor when he takes damage or lands a skill hit. With his skill 1, he dashes forward and launches enemies after a short delay. His skill 2 lets him slash several times to deal damage, while his ultimate lets him sail his ship. If he hits an enemy while sailing, he launches them and deals damage to them. Prioritize upgrading his ultimate, or skill 2 if the ultimate's not available.
Take this! Lay down your sword and follow a different path.
Charlotte is a fighter with both offense and defense capabilities. Her basic 1-2 BA Alt BA combo can be used to quickly close on the enemy and launch enhanced basic attacks. When any of her skills hit, she gets enhanced skills and marks. 3 marks grant her an enhanced basic attack. Her skill 1 releases Tri-Slash to deal damage. With skill 2, she dashes and delivers 6 rapid stabs that deal damage and recover health. Her ultimate carves a star around her that deals damage and slows enemies. In terms of skill learning, she should prioritize her ultimate. If unavailable, she should prioritize skill 2.